Good morning, sir. Victor Tango, Sierra Sierra Mike.
Good morning, sir. Victor Tango number Alpha Papa.
Very good morning, students. Just give me a second.
Good morning, sir. Victor Tango, Sierra Sierra Mike.
Good morning, sir. Victor Tango Kilo Alpha Papa.
Very good morning, students. Just give me a second.
Good morning, sir. November India Hotel.
Yeah. Good morning, sir. Victor Tango, Kilo Alpha Romeo.
Very good morning, students. Welcome to the class. A very happy second day of the week. And Suchita, very happy to see you're getting better. Very good morning. Don't strain your throat much. It's fine. You can text your answers and questions and everything. Very good morning, students. We have Kanishk. We have San. We have Neha, Nukul, Karishma, Niharika, Muskan, and Suchita. Very good morning, students. I want you to do a quick revision of what you had done yesterday. A lot of important concepts were spoken about and a couple of questions were solved for the Q codes and for the other concepts. I want you to tell me if you have any doubts with respect to what we had done in yesterday's session. Every day when you start a new session, you should always revise what you had done in the last session and then start with something that you learn new. So as a habit, 11 a.m. if your session starts, I want you all to sit at 11 a.m. and revise. The idea is to be ready 15 minutes before the lecture start time. Okay. Today we are going to talk about one of those topics with respect to Earth, with respect to Great Circle, and it is something that you had discussed your doubts on with respect to your assignment number 2. Any guesses, students? What am I talking about?
Convergency. Victor Tango Kilo Alpha Papa.
Convergency, I don't see much doubts.
Vertices.
Convergency. Vertices, yes. Which vertices, Niharika?
Plane cuts opposite vertices like.
Okay, we'll get there. Don't worry. Nukul, students, all of y'all do a readability check so I know you can hear me and I can hear you.
Radio 5, Victor Tango, November, Kilo Charlie.
Radio 5, Victor Tango, Mike Sierra Lima.
Radio 5, Victor Tango number Alpha Papa.
Radio 5, Victor Tango, Kilo Alpha Romeo.
Radio 5, Victor Tango Kilo Alpha Papa.
Radio 5, Victor Tango, Hotel Romeo Charlie.
Radio 5, Victor Tango November India Hotel.
Anyone left? Okay. I have a couple of questions to ask. Are we well versed with our Q codes? If yes, tell me what are the definitions of Q codes, QFE, QNE, QNH with respect to what we had learned yesterday, and I want your answers on Zoom chat. All 3 definitions. Quick. And I need accuracy in the answers. Ayan is not here. I think a couple of students who were there yesterday are not here. It's okay. Vishnupriya is also not here. Prakhar is missing. So, Nukul, give me a brief of all the key points we had studied yesterday in your own words. Muskan, prepare for the same. Niharika, prepare for the same answer. Yeah, Nukul, please go ahead.
So yesterday we study about the three Q codes. The first one is a QNE. QNE is a ISA pressure level, which is set above the transition altitude. And this ISA pressure level is 1013.25 hectopascal. Then QNH. QNH is the actual main sea level pressure. It's a vertical distance from the main sea level to upward direction. And this pressure setting, pilot can set below the transition altitude. It gives the
Okay. Nukul, good effort. Good effort. Always remember, we have learned something in RT that when we are giving an answer, we focus on keywords. Okay. Niharika, I'm checking your answers on Zoom chat. Your answers are correct, but focus on the question. The question is to give me answers with respect to, or to give me a brief with respect to what you had studied yesterday. So when it comes to QNH, what we had studied yesterday is that QNH will give me the elevation of the aircraft, and QNH changing will not impact my field elevation. These are the key points I want in your brief or in your revision. What is the subscale setting? We know, but are we still able to answer correctly to those questions which we did? No. Why? Remember the point. We have studied and still we are not getting correct answers. It's pointless. It's okay if you have not studied and if you don't have answers. But it's not good if you have studied but you don't have answers. Doesn't that make sense, students? What do you think? Focus on what you have learned. It's a new thing. If you don't revise, you will miss out on it. And the same confusions can happen again in the exam. And you'll find yourself struggling above 60, below 70. We don't want that. Right? What did we learn? Other things? We learned something about something very interesting. Time, sun, UTC to UTC comparison, UTC to LMT, the differences. When we are checking with UTC, UTC is more in the west compared to UTC somewhere else. But LMT UTC, we know the formula. We saw sun's apparent motion, 15 degrees per hour. We spoke about apparent wander. We spoke about the formula. Northern hemisphere, it's decreasing. So the formula will have minus 15 into sine lat. So drift is also based upon the latitude, not just the meridians. Then we have learned from one lat to another lat how to calculate if the apparent drift, or the drift or apparent wander has doubled, halved. You can simply calculate and check. It's half, double, triple. Students understand logically. I say so much of this word in class, logic. It could become my second middle name. Is it becoming your core area of understanding things? If not, then still you have some hard work to do. Effect of pressure is more on density than effect of temperature. Good suggestion, Niharika. In ISA, another major point in this term is in ISA. Okay. This statement is true for ISA. I have more suggestions. Karishma is saying QFE. It is the pressure at aerodrome reference point, which is the highest point on the runway. Fine, fine, it's a good definition. If the existing MSL pressure assuming ISA conditions and QNH changing will not change the field elevation. If the subscale setting to give elevation of aircraft. When you are in ground and when you have set QNH, your altimeter reads field elevation. That is also important, students. Although we say QFE will give me the pressure at aerodrome reference point, it will give me 0 on ground. QNH will give me field elevation on ground. And of course, QNE will give me my altitude with respect to the ISA pressure setting. Right, students? Students, this is important. These are questions that will definitely come in the exams. I want accuracy in your understanding and in your recreation. Hussain, Kanishk, Muskan, Nukul, are you following? Focus on what you have learned. Don't go back to the old definition. You will still have confusions. Focus on every word that I'm saying. Understand. Karishma, Suchita, any confusions? Think. You can always text, use emojis also, don't worry. Or the impact of pressure on warm air and cold air, like Muskan is suggesting in the updates on chat, warm to cold altimeter can overread, cold to warm altimeter can underread. If you know the logic between temperature, density, pressure, then such questions will be easy to solve. If sea level pressure increases, what will happen? More pressure is towards the surface of the earth. So we get more vertical distance. Simple. That one logic is very important for us. So we will always know. And always remember, 1 HPA change can give you up to 30 feet of altitude difference, elevation difference, up to 10,000 feet. Then it reduces. It's the pressure lapse rate. All right. Not bad. Question answers are fine. When you say need to change the subscale from QFE to QNE after transition altitude for QNE, makes sense after transition altitude. We can say in the transition layer, there's a 500 feet layer you get where you can make the changes. Either you're going up or going down. Anyway, good job, students. I'm expecting better recall. If your recall is better in the exam, you will easily get the answers. Any doubts? No doubts? Did anybody go through that QFE, QNE, QNH relationship? Nobody asked for the notes, so I'm either expecting you all to have gone through it or just have forgotten about it. No idea? It's okay. So Kanishk has no doubts, and I'm assuming nobody else has doubts. Nukul, I want you to tell me what is a great circle. I'm going to give you all just 10 seconds to give me answers, okay? We cannot waste time. You all know we are having a short session today. Nukul, I'm asking you a question.
Yes.
Okay. Muskan, what is a great circle?
The circle on the earth which has the radius and diameter as same as that of the earth.
Say again. Just say again.
The great circle, it is the circle on the surface of the earth which has radius and diameter equal to that of the earth.
Okay. Is that it?
The meridian and its anti-meridian, they together also make a great circle.
Okay. Niharika, tell me what is a great circle?
I would like to add one more point, like a great circle is the shortest distance between 2 points on the Earth's surface, and it is closer to the poles.
Sir, I would like to add one more point that on a GC, 1 degree is equals to 60 minutes. That is 60 nautical miles.
Okay.
So,
You see my body language, right, students? It should tell you that your answers are not satisfactory.
so, um,
They are
so
correct.
great.
They are correct. They are not wrong, but they are not complete. Are you just studying to struggle to give correct answers to the questions? Or are you studying to understand? Just think about it, students. Remember, when a topic is asked to you as a part of a question, you think about it and you tell me all possible points. You cannot just tell me one line answer. It's fine, it's correct. But we are at a higher level now. Understand your own level. You started, now you are at the point of completion. Act like that. Okay? Don't give me baby answers. Your baby answers will not be used in the exams, because in the exams, the questions will be super complicated. Some of the questions are at a level of huge investigations. If you have to take a different non-study word to it, what are these questions? Nothing but investigations into something. You find out one thing when other things are given to you. Please don't do that again, okay? You are smart. You have worked hard. You have been taught in a smart way. I'm expecting you all to recreate it when anybody ever asks you a question. Don't do that again, okay? Your answers are correct. One-liner answers are correct. Do you want to stop there? It means you don't care. Don't give anyone a chance to believe that you don't care. When it comes to you building a career, even after you get a job, you cannot show anyone that you don't care. It's a big thing. Being professional, you have to care. You have to give your best. You have to do more than what you are asked for. Write these points down if you don't know this philosophy. And every day read it till the time it is there in your system. What I'm trying to make you and what you are becoming. If you don't become what I'm trying to make you, then all your training here is going to go to waste. So please kick in the training. Let the training kick in. If you have lost touch, ensure you regain touch. Don't do something else just because you have had some gap. Remember what you have been taught and only study as per that. Don't do the other practice that other students do everywhere. Question bank, question bank. Don't do that ever. It will not help you. Okay? Your answers will tell me. So make sure you give correct answers. And quick answers. I am not, what is this, Nukul? So much of delay. What is this, Muskan? Just one line. You are so like 5 seconds you're finishing an answer. How will it satisfy the other person? Nariga, great circle is the shortest. That is incomplete. Anybody can hold us by the neck and say, no, it's not wrong. You are not selected. Why are you giving them the chance? You have notes. You have your notes. You have studied hours and hours of classes. How many hours? Count how many hours. At least 76 lectures. On an average, let's consider 2.5 hours. Almost 200 hours. 200 hours. Your flight training requires 200 hours. Almost that much time you are giving in taking classes of navigation. And what is it that you are recreating? Wake up, okay? Time to wake up, everyone. By the way, happy to see all your question answers on Zoom. I don't think everybody has sent it. Students who have not sent it, do you need a special invitation? What is a great circle? What are the properties of great circle? Why do we need great circle? And what are great circle vertices? Although the topic is very short and simple, it has been a reason for a lot of confusions. Sometimes questions come on vertices, sometimes don't. It's good to know so that you can get the maximum marks. Now, Muskan, you are right about the definition when you start, but you're not completely right. A great circle is any circle on the surface of the earth. Basically, it will be an imaginary circle. A circle such in dimensions that it has radius, diameter, circumference equal to that of the earth. For example, if we consider the system of graticule, meridians, latitudes or parallels of latitudes, anti-meridians, then we get a lot of circles. We get great circles, we get small circles. Equator, which is a great circle dividing the earth into equal parts, is a parallel of latitude, which is also a great circle. Between any 2 points, a great circle can be drawn on the earth. But only one great circle can be drawn between any 2 points on the earth unless those points are antipodal in nature. I'm not reading a book. I am just interested in mastering the concept. I don't think you are interested in mastering the concept. I think you just want correct options. Then why don't you just, look for a master key in the exam? No, right? You don't do that. You don't think about cheating. And if you're thinking about studying, study it carefully, okay? You saw my answer. It is covering all important points. Muskan's answer was correct. If she would have defined it in a better way, her answer would have been superb. Niharika, your answer was incorrect. Why? Because once you start like this and then you say, on that great circle between any 2 points, one arc is a short arc and one will be long. The shorter arc of a great circle is the shortest distance between the 2 points. One of the most critical things that we learn when we start. And it is one of the most confusing things students find when they are doing great circle. See, this is the difference. You cannot afford to have this difference if you want to master navigation and clear the exams. Trust me, you will make a lot of errors in topics and questions that you have studied. कैसे मार्क्स मिलेंगे? जो पढ़ा है उसी में से मिस्टेक्स होंगे तो मार्क्स कहाँ से आएंगे आपको? करेक्ट ऑप्शन देख के भी आप गलत ऑप्शन मार्क करके आओगे फिर. Focus, okay, and do better. Shorter arc of GC between 2 points is always the shortest distance between 2 points. Then that is correct. Then we continue with the answer. All airways are great circle tracks. VOR radials are great circle tracks. All radio waves, they take the great circle path in atmosphere. A great circle track is the shortest path. We always take it, but it doesn't have a constant direction. Its directions change. DIID. Between point A and B, a line of constant direction can also be made. That is a rhumb line. We can always compare a rhumb line with a GC track, and we can find either of them with the help of the inclination of meridians towards each other as we go towards the poles, that inclination being convergency. There's so many small formulas. You have a formula where you are given that the difference between great circle and convergency is the conversion angle, I guess. Little points giving you direct answers to questions to find GC track, initial GC track, final GC track, intermediate GC track. Why do you think you have such questions in the exams? As a pilot, you have to take a GC track. You will be given latitude, longitude of your departure and destination. Based upon the formula CX3 and what you have learned, you are required to find the initial direction and final direction. Distance you will know. And then you check which route will give you that direction. Then on your flight plan, you propose that route on a proposed flight level. Yeah, understanding the logic, yes or no, I want you all to talk. Only then you will understand great circle vertices. Otherwise, it will just be another confusion. Nyarika, Muskan, Nukul, Suchita, Kanish, Karishma, Hussain, Neha.
Understood, sir. Victor Tango Mike Sierra Lima.
Any circle that has its radius, diameter, circumference equivalent to that of the Earth and which divides Earth into equal hemispheres. Any circle on the Earth who has its diameter and radius equivalent to Earth, equator is a great circle. Only one great circle will pass through any 2 points on Earth. Now, Karishma, here you have to ensure that you mention unless those points are antipodal in nature. You have to be thorough. In exams, you have to be thorough. Only one great circle will pass through any 2 points unless they are antipodal, added by Suchita. The shortest arc of the great circle is always the shortest distance between those 2 points. The shorter arc of great circle between 2 points is always the short distance. Okay. GC is not a line of constant direction. It is closer to poles, convex to poles, concave to equator. It is closer to poles when compared to the rhumb line between those 2 points. Always remember. Specify the whole thing. But it is true, it is closer to the poles, but specify the whole thing. Any circle on Earth which has equal diameter as of Earth is great circle. The shorter arc of great circle between 2 points is the shortest distance between 2 meridians. Why just meridians? Okay. Shortest distance between them. Okay. Meridians are semi-great circles. Meridian with anti-meridian for GC, they are closer to the poles. Getting better, still 50-50 more points could be added, but good job. I can see improvement. I cannot give you pravachan like this every day. I gave it to you yesterday. I'm giving it to you today. I might give it to you once more. You have to pick up. Okay. Equator is only yes, that is also a parallel of latitude. 2 antipodal points can have infinite great circles. Okay, fine. So we know the importance of great circle, right? Now there is one thing that is related to great circle, and they are called great circle vertices. Okay. What do you mean by vertices? A simple definition of great circle vertices will help you understand. Please keep your minds very fresh, very open, and ask if you have doubts. Try to understand every point that I'm explaining. The points as explained have the essential logic in them. Study the points, read the points 2, 3, 4 times until it makes sense, and then discuss. Okay, is everybody with me? And students, I hope you have not forgotten to smile. I cannot see your faces. You could use some reactions if anybody is smiling. Remember, I have learned it from a great teacher. Okay, that teacher is no more. And that teacher said that when you smile when you're studying, even if you fake a smile, your learning enhances. You know how important it is for our mind to enhance our learning, right? We are sitting with book. We want our mind to work in the best possible ways. Then it makes sense. Good. Write down the definition. It's a simple math. I'll teach you the simple techniques. I hope everybody can see the screen. Great circle vertices. Vertices. Write down the first point. I'll dictate a few points. I'll make a few notes. I'll show you diagrams if needed. But mainly focus on theory. The diagrams could be confusing when it comes to great circle vertices. When it comes to vertices, it's better if you just stick to the math or stick to the key points. So the first point I want you all to write down. Every great circle has one extreme northern point in terms of a lat long position. Every great circle has one extreme northern point in terms of lat long and one extreme southern point. So every GC has one extreme northern point and one extreme southern point. The first extreme points that we learn when we start navigation are to do with the extremities of Earth's polar axis or axis of rotation. And those extremities are called as the North Pole and the South Pole. Now imagine a great circle like this. Let's just assume the Earth from front. Let's say this is a great circle passing from behind and then from front like this. So this here point becomes the most northerly point and this point here becomes the most southerly point with respect to this great circle. Let's make another great circle. Let's say this is the great circle. The dotted lines are from behind. So for this great circle, this is the most northerly point. This is the most southerly point. So the most northerly point or northern point becomes northern vertex. We will call it NV. And the southernmost point will become southern vertex. We can name it SV for our notes. So the most northern point and the most southern point is called the vertex. Now let's say I have to plan a flight. Let's say I have to go to Kanishk and I want to fly in my small Cessna or something. I have to plan my flight. If I know my great circle track, I can find out my great circle vertex and I can determine the most northerly point that I'm going to fly before I come back. It can also resonate with the thought that you have been saying that the great circle track is always closer to the poles. It means it will always have an extreme northern point and an extreme southern point. Those are the vertices. It will become sometimes important for you to know what is the extreme northern point and what is the extreme southern point. Secondly, the more importance you will find of great circle vertices is at what angle it cuts the equator. So you see this angle between the equator. This is the equator here. So this angle is the angle at which it is cutting the equator. So what is the most extreme northern vertex point and southern vertex point is the first thing you're required to find. Second thing is at what angle, at what track or what angle is it cutting the equator in two places. So it will cut the equator. This great circle will cut the equator here with this angle. And second, it will cut the equator here with this angle on the back side. So it will cut the equator in two places. How to find that? The math is very simple. Write down second point. Most northern point on GC is called northern vertex. A simple MCQ can be asked on this theory. And most southern point on GC is called southern vertex. Do you have any doubts, students? Niharika, are you following? Muskan?
Yes, sir.
Dan?
Yes, sir.
Affirm, sir.
Good. Now write down what are the properties. Properties of great circle vertices. The first property that I want you to write about GC vertices is this. For every great circle, the northern vertex and southern vertex are antipodal. One easy way to find the other vertex when you have one vertex given to you. This point will come in handy. So if, for assumptions, if here my northern vertex, let's say, is 09 at 0 east, and let's say 45° north, then it will become antipodal in nature. Antipodal will generally be meridian to meridian. Anti-meridian and meridian will make it antipodal. So 09 at 0 east, 09 at 0 west, meridian to meridian, antipodal. And the latitude will be equal but opposite. 45 north will become 45 south. So this is one way to quickly find one vertex when other vertex is given to you. Okay. There are more ways to find vertices. Something or the other will definitely be given to you. So the first point explains this. For every great circle, the northern vertex and the southern vertex or vertex are antipodal. The lat will just change north to south and the meridian will be antipodal. Is it clear, students? Write down in bracket, antipodal means meridian. Students, by the way, remember after every session, you are required to send me your notes. I need proof of study and I need not just proof, but accuracy of studies. So only 2-3 students sent me the notes yesterday. Today, remember, everyone in class will send it. Students taking the class afterwards, you have to do it whenever you complete it. Meridian from one vertex will be 180 degrees from meridian of second vertex. Same thing as explained. Second point, great circle distance between both vertices is, how much do you think it will be? Any guesses?
Diameter of like 10800.
Is it diameter?
So 60 into 180. So it is our GC and the points are 180° opposite. So we will multiply by 60.
What is the value?
10800.
So is it a diameter or is it what?
Radius of Earth.
It's diameter, sir.
Radius?
The circumference is 40,000 and diameter is
No, sir, it is not a radius, but we can say it is half circumference.
Half of the circumference, right, Niharika?
Correct, yes, sir. Correct.
It is not diameter. Diameter is what? 2 pi r. There is a formula for diameter, right? If we
2
know
into
the
radius. Double of radius.
no, that could be 2 pi d. Diameter is double of radius.
Correct.
Correct. Students,
Yes.
remember circumference is equal to 2 pi r or pi and d. Okay. 2r is equal to diameter. Radius into 2 is equal to diameter. Circumference is this circular thing. Okay. So this is circumference in red is C, while this yellow is diameter, and this green thing here is the radius. Remember, what you are finding right now, you're finding the distance between the two vertices like this. So it's a semi-great circle. Okay. 180-degree opposite. So you won't call it diameter. You won't call it radius. You won't call it circumference. Simple. Okay. It could be a coincidence if diameter is the same as the circumference. But I don't think so, because we can always find out the answer. Reverse calculation. We know the value of pi. We know the circumference of Earth. I think it is what? 10800 into 2 when it comes to nautical miles. Then you can find the diameter accordingly. Everybody find out the diameter based upon this formula. Quick. Use a scientific calci. See, all this logic is important in NAV exams. Anything can be asked to you anytime. You are using correct logic, students. Very good, Niharika, Kanesh. I appreciate it. Let's seal the deal by making it super accurate. So 21600 nautical miles is my circumference is equal to pi d. Pi is 3.14. D multiplied here, D will be what? So yeah. So we'll take 21600 nautical miles upon 3.14 and probably I'll get my diameter. Let's just see. Let's just go with the flow. So I'm getting my diameter as 6878.98 nautical miles. Looks like a figure we have seen before doing assignments. Students, the ellipticity ratio, compression ratio, they give us these things. So this is the diameter, and this divide by 2 will give me my radius. And radius of Earth is equal to 3439.49 nautical miles. You need this logic. Any question can ask you anything, anytime. It's like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, students. Always remember these points. And Niharika, be careful with these terms. You have a lot to unlearn and a lot to relearn. Please focus. You have time. Just focus on accuracy. Don't worry about anything else. Everything will come back to you. You have done good effort. Okay, let's get back to the second point. I'll continue the second point down. Okay, here only. GC distance between two vertices is 10800 nautical miles. Please remember these things. A simple question can be asked. Third point, latitude values are same but opposite. GC vertices have latitude values same but opposite. just how I had explained. Write down example. If north vertex is on 45° north, southern vertex is on 45° south. Okay. Write down fourth point. Example to find one vertex when other is given. This is the question. Try and solve, everyone. If southern vertex of great circle is 63° south, 170 west, find northern vertex. So how do we find it? Give me answers on Zoom chat. Longitude is antipodal and latitude is equal and opposite. So what is my longitude? 170 antipodal plus 180. What do I get? I can do 170 plus minus 180. Antipodal could be plus, it could be minus. How do we know if it's plus or it's minus? Easy way to figure this out is it's meridian. You plot prime meridian, you plot anti-prime meridian, you make your 90 degrees meridians. And they just make the first meridian, 170 west. Where is 170 west? We know this is southern vertex, 170 west. So where will it be? It's antipodal thing. It is this. So when our visualization is accurate, our math will also be accurate. So if I do 170 plus 180, if I just go with plus to find reciprocal, let's see what do we get. 170 plus 180, we get 350. Can 350 be a value in meridians? It cannot be. Now look at it. It's a very important logic that you're required to learn here. Again, I'll show you this perspective. When it comes to local hour angle, something that you learn in time, so that is where we see these examples. From your prime meridian, if this is 170 west, even if I do plus 180 to find my the 180-degree counterpart, if I travel 180 degrees here, if I add, I still reach this point. And what is this point in meridians? Already it is named as 010 east. So even if you do plus, you come to this answer only because meridians will not go more than 180. So again, I'll show you another answer. So either you find your antipodal looking at the graph because it's just meridian, it's very easy to find your 180 degree, or you can always use plus minus 180. Okay. If you do plus minus 180, and of course, to find antipodal, we might do plus. When you do plus, you get 350. Here you can assume if anything is above 180, you subtract with 360. Only in the case of meridians. And you get 010 here. And if you are careful with the number, 010 east is antipodal. Second thing, if you do 170 minus 180, you still get an answer which is 010. The only thing is you have to figure out where east is, so your logic should be clear with respect to this. Otherwise, you'll put 350 and 350 will be one of the incorrect options. And you will think the option has 350, the answer is correct, and you'll unknowingly mark that. Are you following, students?
Affirm, sir. Affirm, sir.
So my longitude that I've got is 010 east and latitude equal but opposite 63 north. So my answer, my northern vertex is at 63 north, 010 east. Any doubts? Nakul, are you confused? Are you getting it? Solve it. Everyone. In the chat box, I have 4 answers. All 4 are correct. Good job. बाकी लोग क्यों नहीं भेज रहे हैं? Why is only 50% class answering? Good. Easy, right? Write down point number 5 in properties of GC is directions of great circle at vertices. Chances are people will ask you, you could be asked, what would be the direction of your great circle when you are at either of the vertices? It's a very important point to remember because the directions can either be one of the two. Okay. Remember, the directions of great circles at vertices can either be one of the two. What one of the two? We'll see. Direction of great circle at vertices. Okay. Focus on the at. Can either be 090 true or 270 true. Please, important MCQ. So your great circle track, no matter where you are on the northern vertex or southern vertex, you go either easterly from the vertex or you go westerly from the vertex. It's an important point. The visualization of it could be difficult. So I want you all to thoroughly remember this point. Remember, these points are more important than visualizations when it comes to vertices. Are we following? Are we sitting, getting bored, students? I can see Nukul studying, struggling. I don't know about others. It's been almost 1 hour. You have
Following,
been
sir.
saying, I am
Victor
talking.
Tango.
Good. Anyone who's not following? Hussain? कुछ समझ रहा है नहीं समझ रहा है?
Yes, sir, following.
So everybody revise these points. Suchita, Kanishk, Neha, Muskan, Niharika, Karishma. Quickly, I'm giving you 5 minutes. After this, we'll talk about great circle vertices and equator. So at what directions is it cutting and at what point is it cutting the equator? So the properties of great circle vertices are that there are two vertices. Most northerly point will be northern vertex. Most southern point will be southern vertex. Then both the vertices are antipodal in nature. Meridian will be antipodal. Latitude will be equal and opposite. When one vertex is given, the second can be easily found. We be careful with the numbers. Visualization to get antipodal is the best. Plus minus we have understood. When it comes to meridians, anything above 180 should give you minus 360. You should do it. You get 010. But for anti-meridians, it's always best to plot. We did learn about the distance between the two vertices to be half of the circumference of the earth or half of any great circle, basically, because the distance is great circle between the 2 points because it's a great circle vertex. We did learn about how to find radius, diameter. It will be handy to remember this number 10800 as semi-great circle length. How to find And what are the directions? Remember, the directions at either of the vertices could either be east or west, always. This is the nature of these things. It will not be north and south. At that vertex, what is the direction? Either you go east, either you go west, or you go east. That's it. East or west, no matter where it is. This is one very peculiar point that I personally find it very interesting. Okay. Generally, we would think we have to go south from northern vertex, and from southern vertex, we could think we have to go north. But no, it could be northeast. It could be southeast. But is it? No, it's either 0980 or 270. Exact east or exact west. So we remember this point. Niharika, any questions? Muskan, any questions?
Negative, sir. Victor Tango Mike Sierra Lima.
Karishma, are you following?
Affirm, sir.
Students, study these points. Any doubts? Ask. Don't wait for me to take your name. Everybody just acknowledge if you're done. Okay, let's continue. Let's take a 5-minute breather, students. Just 5 minutes. I think I'll just get some water. And then we'll end the part with respect to great circle vertices and equator with a fresh mind. Let's take 10 minutes, okay? And then directly we'll wrap the session and you can go for lunch. So come back at 1210, everyone. Just a breather, okay? Don't be late. Welcome back, students. I hope everyone is back. Let me know. Nakul,
Victor
Kanishk,
Tangana.
Hussain, Karishma, Niharika, Neha. Okay, Muskan and Kanishk, let me know. Okay, Muskan is back, Kanishk is back. Good, good, good. Only Suchita is here. I think Hussain is also here. Great. Any doubts? Easy, right? Actually, it's a very confusing topic to read from the text. The way I'm teaching, I'm hoping it will be easy, but make sure you are well versed with all these points. Suchita, how do you read? So we have a question from assignment that Muskan is sharing with us. Sushita, I hope you can hear me. Just let me know on chat. Just everybody solve this question and see if you can get the answer. A GC has its northern vertex at 70° north, 130 degrees east. What is the position of southern vertex? Just make sure your antipodes, your meridians, just ensure that they are correct. Latitude will be correct. What is the answer to this? Muskan, you will tell me if their answers are correct or not. Quick, 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 quick. Okay, so Muskan, you have given me the answer. Okay, Kanishk has given me the answer. 70 degrees south, 050 west. Niharika has given me answer 7 degrees south, correction, 70 degrees south, 050 west. Okay, two answers that are matching, very good. नुकुल हुसैन आपके आंसर्स नहीं आए. सुचिता आपका आंसर नहीं आया. मुस्कान आपका आंसर तो आ गया है. करिश्मा का भी आ गया. नेहा योर आंसर इज नॉट कम येट. Karishma, okay, 70 south, 050 west. Hussain, 70 south, 050 west. Always mention question numbers also, remember? But it's fine in this setting. Okay. So, Niharika, good. Karishma, good. Hussain, good. Kanish, good. Muskan, good. Suchita, good. Okay. And who's left? Only Nukul is left. Nukul, क्या हो रहा है Nukul? माइंड को सैचुरेट मत होने दो Nukul. सब पढ़ रखा है तुमने, सब आता है तुम्हें. Relax. Relax, focus on keywords, do plus minus, make a diagram, you'll get your answer. Diagram से तो और भी आसान होगा देखना. मईडेनी तो निकालना. जल्दी Nukul, waiting for you. And please talk to me Nukul if you're struggling somewhere. Help me clarify your doubts. Nukul, waiting for you. Neha, your answer is incorrect. You have written 70 degrees south, 005 west. 005 west will have its antipodal meridian as 175 east. Do we have 175 east? No, we have 130 east. Neha, why the mistake? नुकुल क्या हो रहा है बच्चा? इतना टाइम नहीं लगना चाहिए नुकुल. You're not even talking to me. We will run short of time. 1 बजे wrap up करना है session. Submit your answers.
So meridian is 050 west
Yeah.
and
Hmm?
70 south is
Correct. इतना टाइम क्यों लगा रहे हो?
से पता नहीं आज ठीक नहीं लग रहा मुझे।
क्या हुआ बताओ?
पता नहीं
What happened? Are you worried? Message me what's wrong. Text me. Let's move ahead, students. Students, if you're not feeling well, you can skip the session. You can do it later on. You have the access. It's under the playlist. CPL nav, mic 23. Okay. It's there. If you cannot find it, then I will share the link also. Chalo, let's get done with the second part. Great circle, vertices, and equator. Okay. Write down all key points. First, the reason why we want to know this. Write down knowing any one vertex coordinates. Coordinates means lat long. Knowing any one vertex coordinates can help us find. What do we find? Number one, where does the great circle cut the equator? That is, at which meridian? First thing, very important. बस ये दो चीजें क्लैरिफाई कर लो, you'll never be confused. आपको confusion कभी आएगी ही नहीं जो दूसरे लोगों को होगी. Study in these two ways. If you know one vertex, you can find out with respect to the equator, the first thing, where does the great circle cut the equator? That is, at which meridian? And second thing that I get is this. What angle does the GC cut the equator at? So these are the two things you'll be asked to find. At what meridian is the GC cutting the equator? So to find that, you need your vertex. Anytime they can give you a question, there is a GC track, find out where it cuts the equator. You'll be like, sir, ye to kabhi padha hi nahi. I'm like, remember, try to figure out what the vertex is and you'll be able to find where it cuts the equator on which meridian and at what angle. So when we go back to the earlier diagram, it is cutting the equator at some meridian, this point. So what is the value of this meridian? And then what is the angle? Two things. Remember, two different things, two different techniques. Simple. So let's go back. Let's see these things. Write down the key for solution. The key is simple. It's a statement I want you all to remember. GC crosses equator at 2 points. There'll be 2 points where it will cross the equator, one on this side, one on the other side. So we need 2 meridians. Okay. These 2 points will continue. GC crosses equator at 2 points, whose longitude, that is the meridian, is 90-degree change of longitude. Write down in bracket 90-degree D long from either of the vertices. Read the statement 2 times or 3 times. A great circle will cross the equator at 2 points. Those 2 points will have their longitude 90-degree removed or added from either of the vertices. So if you have one vertex, where will it cut the equator? 90-degree and then 90-degree, like this. So 90-degree from one side and 90-degree from the other side. I'll give you an example. If southern vector is 63 south, 170 west, the GC will cross equator at 90-degree plus minus from 170 west. So the key helps you create your mathematical equation here. So where are the 2 places that this great circle is going to cut the equator? The first thing that we need to find out is you have your meridian, you just do plus minus 90-degree from the meridian. Okay. It's very simple. Forget the diagram, look at the equation. So therefore, first point where it will cut the equator, 170 minus 90. Second point where it will cut the equator, 170 plus 90. Now remember the key, these are meridians. So 180 is the maximum. It will not go beyond 180. The same thing that we saw above is equal to, so 170 minus 90 will give me 080, and 170 plus 90 actually gives me how much? 180 plus 80, 260. 260 minus 360, I'll get 100. If I plot, I get 100 east. A simple, I'll just show you all once more how we are doing it. North pole. I'll just show you. This is 170 west. Minus 90, you take 90 degrees, subtract, and you get 080. And plus 90, you add 90 like this. What do you get? You reach 180 plus, so you get 100 east. So I suggest whenever you have these things, you plot your meridians easily to get the reciprocal if the math confuses you. So where is the GC cutting the equator? My GC is cutting the equator at 080 west meridian and then 100 east meridian. So now we know that this is looking at the earth from the north pole. So we realize that whatever the GC is, it is cutting here and it is cutting here. So it will be going like that. And those are the 2 points where it will intersect with the equator. Do one more question, everyone. If northern vertex of GC is 30° north, 100 east, find where will it cut the equator. Answers in the Zoom chat. I'm giving you a short time of 60 seconds. That is 1 minute to solve. Answer is simple. 100 plus 90, 100 minus 90. I can simply plot. After some times of plotting, it will be very easily visualized. 100 east is the northern vertex. So 100 east minus 90 and plus 90. So this will be plus 90 and this will be minus 90 here. So 100 plus 90 is 190. 190 cannot be. So minus 360 if we do, we get 170, I guess. And this 170 is nothing but this. 170 west. And if I do subtraction, it's easy. 100 minus 90 is 010. I get 010 east. So it took me less than 30 seconds to come up with the answer. What are your answers? Question number 3, 010 east and 170 west. Karishma, Muskan, 010 east, Suchita, correct. Niharika, 010, 170 west, correct. So Niharika, Suchita, Karishma, Muskan, you have got it correct. Kanishk, you have got it correct. Good job. Hussain, you have got it correct. Who's not given me the answers? I think Neha, Nukul. GC will cut equator at 010 east and 170 west meridians. Good job, Nukul. Good job, Neha. I hope your doubts are cleared, students. If anything, please ask. Now let's do the final thing. Yes, Muskan.
Sir, I have shared one more question on WhatsApp. Please check it.
ये सॉल्व करेंगे ना, एक बार पूरा हो जान दो ना. Let's just finish this and try and solve.
Roger, Victor Tango, Mike Sierra Lima.
It's not complete. Initial direction is east. If initial direction is east, and if initial direction is west, we are going to come there. Wait for it. Students, I appreciate when you're being proactive. Good job. I want you all to be completely involved. It should not be one-way learning. You should also speak, ask, talk, discuss. Don't struggle unnecessarily. Second thing that we want to find out, at what angle is the great circle cutting the equator? And we call it track angle. So something more that can confuse you otherwise. Track angle or angle at which the GC will cut equator. So we know the GC will cut equator at, from the earlier example, it will cut the equator at 080 west and 100 east. At what angle will it cut? That is the last thing that you have to find out. So at what angle am I cutting the equator? It becomes a difficult thing to solve if we don't have our basics right. So the key here is very simple. Track angle at which GC cuts equator is based on latitude of each vertex. A very important point. These are points that will be softly put in your question papers. Things like this everywhere. You need to be very well versed students. So this is your way to get well versed. To find the angle at which the GC is cutting the equator, the angle is based upon the latitude of each vertex. For the first time, we are seeing the play of latitude in so far, whatever we have been doing with respect to vertices. Latitude, latitude, latitude. Remember, track angle for great circle to cut equator is based upon latitude. Now we know that the direction at a great circle vertex is either east or west. So we make a note, write down, as we know, direction of great circle at vertices is east 0, 0, 9 or 0 or west 270. Remember this point. Therefore, if eastbound from vertex, track angle to cut equator. If you are going eastbound, then track angle to cut equator in two places would be latitude plus 90 degrees and latitude minus 90 degrees. It is that simple. Why are we talking about latitude and track angle cutting the equator? Because latitudes are angular measurements with the plane of the equator. Remember the definition of latitude. Latitudes are nothing but angles made with respect to the plane of the equator. This is why whenever a GC track is cutting the equator, the latitude comes in place to help us find the directions. Now, Muskan, half of your answer is already given in this statement. Very simple. Eastbound, lat plus 90, lat minus 90. And second point, if westbound from vertex, track angle to cut the equator, you might have guessed it by now, lat plus 270 and lat minus 270. Trust me, it's not that easy to make these notes and understand. You guys are very lucky. Please make sure you are 100% thorough with what we are learning, the way we are learning. If you think this is complicated, just read it twice. That's it. Everybody read the key to find track angle for great circle cutting equators quickly. See if you have any doubts. Firstly, the angle at which the great circle will cut the equator will be based upon the latitude. If we are eastbound, it's latitude plus 90, latitude minus 90, both places. If we are westbound, it's latitude plus 270, latitude minus 270, because east is 090, west is 270. Pretty simple thing to understand that way. Now just final numerical is left, and two special cases as they are there in the text. Chalo, let's solve the example. Question number 4. Northern vertex is 63 north. Find angle at equator that GC cuts. It's 63 north. Okay. If east and if west, you should be able to solve both. If east, if west, from the north vertex. If east, 63 plus 90, 63 minus 90. Okay. 63 minus 90 will give me 027. 63 plus 90 will give me 153. So if I'm going east from my vertex, I'll cut my equator at this angle 153 and at this angle 027. One going down and the other going up, or one going up and the other going down, whatever the case is. If west, then I have 63 plus 270 and 63 minus 270. So 63 plus 270 will give me 333 and 63 minus 270 will give me 207. These are angles at which I'm going to cut the meridian. If you note above, 153 is reciprocal of 333. If you change the direction from your vertex, you get a reciprocal angle at which you cut the meridian. That is not the meridian, but your great circle, which is the equator we are talking about right now. And 027 is reciprocal of 207. So this could be there could be a possibility that they give you a question based upon the reciprocal logic instead of numerical logic. So be alert and be aware. Sometimes some questions can be very easy to answer directly looking at certain concepts. Is it easy? Is it easy? Easy? Is it not easy? Muskan, try and solve that question and do give me an update. I'm giving you one more question. If southern vector is 43, southern vertex is 43 south. Eastbound, find track angle at equator. Because it's a GC track, even if I don't mention the word GC, it's fine. My track would be GC. All tracks that I follow are GC tracks. Only Kanishk is saying easy. So what are the answers? Eastbound, right? So Muskan, give me the answer. Niharika, Karishma, Hussain, one by one, give me your answers quickly. If it's eastbound, it's 43 plus 90 and 43 minus 90. Eastbound, East 0980. Always do your math on your scientific calcs to avoid any human error. I get 133 And I get 90 minus 43 is equal to 0, 4, 7. If I tell you westbound, then you can directly give me reciprocals of these also, or you can solve it the other way also. So westbound would be 43 plus 270, 43 minus 270. Students, I've taken your names and I've asked you to give me answers. You are not giving me answers. You're not replying. You're not responding. Just check if 133 has a reciprocal 313, 133 plus 180, 313. And let's check 047. So see, although I cannot show you the calci, I am speaking everything that I'm doing. So I expect you to do it the same way. Plus 180 is 227, correct. Easy, right? Any confusions? Okay. Something called as GC vertices special cases. Nukul, कोई दिक्कत है तो मुझे बताना. Please message me. And if you don't have time to take the session, you can always do it later. Remember, students, I might not be aware what you're going through, like you must have exams and other tasks. Feel free to let me know.
Sir, for the above question, how do you know that it would be a eastward?
नुकुल वो क्वेश्चन में दिया होगा. आपको हमेशा दोनों सॉल्व करना है. It can either be east or west. If it goes in the direction of Earth's rotation, it's east. If it's opposite, it's west. That is one way you can always figure it out. But Nukul, don't go there. Just pick up the words I'm teaching you. Don't let your mind confuse you. Is what I said the moment I started the session, that only focus on the words I'm giving. Don't worry about diagrams or visualizations when it comes to this topic right now. East or west, only two possibilities, find out the answers. Whether you're going east or west will depend upon which is the shorter arc between that point and your destination. So you will always fly a shorter arc, so you would know whether you're going to go eastbound or westbound. Changing of your directions will be in sync with DIID only. And remember, I'll show you something. This is equator. Let's talk about our great circle track. We know this is how our great circle track looks like. Look at this, 315. The most northern vertex is this, and I know this direction is 270. And then I come 225. Now let's talk about the other way. We know this is the most northern vertex. This is northern vertex. This is northern vertex. Here also 045. My northern vertex here 0980, and this 135. So whether it's east or west will depend upon which hemisphere you are going and whether you're going east or west. Simple. If you're going east, you will have east. If you're going west, you will have west. It's a very good question, Nicole. It should not confuse you. It should only build your basic strong because you know this. We connected the dots. So east or west will depend upon the shorter arc direction track. Any which ways, all my great circle tracks with respect to this, we can see will only vertices will either have east or west. See, it's very obviously explained. Let's talk about southern hemisphere. So in southern hemisphere, 225 will be my initial track. Then this again is 270, which is my southern vector, southern vertex. And then I have 315 here. And let's think about the opposite way. And then I know 135. This is my southern vertex, 0980, and then 045. So you see, southern vertex can either have 0980 or 270. Northern vertex can either have 0980 or 270. Whether it's east or west, directions increasing and decreasing the link can easily help you determine in complex situations, which actually are generally not that complex because eastbound or westbound is directly given to you in questions. If not, solve for both, use logic and see what they are trying to say. But see, this is a good derivation. Nobody talks about great circle vertices with this derivation. So always remember this. The most northern point. This is the most northern point for us, right? So see, it is always 270, 09 or 090, 270. Nukul, are you following? So will it be eastbound or westbound will be given to you in the questions. You don't have to worry about it. If it's not given in the question, then you try to rethink using these steps. DIID. That's it. Remember on the key, remember on the statements, remember the statements and focus on the statements. That is much more important. Okay. Now, special cases. Special case number 1. If GC vertices are 90° north and 90° south. Okay. So what are the special cases? If east, my track angle would be 90 plus 90 and 90 minus 90. So 90 plus 90 would be 180 degrees. So it will go down south. That will be the angle with the equator. And this will be 0, 0, 0, which will be north. If west, then 90 plus 270 or 90 minus 270 is equal to 360 or is equal to 180. So although there are special cases, it is easy to solve using the same logic. Latitude plus 90 minus 90 if you are eastbound. Latitude plus 270 minus 20 if you are westbound. Eastbound, westbound generally will be given to you in the exams. And before reaching the vertex, the pilot would know whether it will be east or west. So if you're going eastern hemisphere, it will always be east with the vertex. If you're going, let's say if you're going west, then it will always be west from the vertex. If you're going east, it will always be east from the vertex. Very simple way to know that. So wherever you are, let's say you are in Mumbai, okay? And let's say you are flying towards Africa. That is west. Let's say I'm flying towards Kolkata, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Bangladesh, Assam. That is east. So my vertex direction for my flight path, if I'm going to Kolkata, my northern vertex will give me easterly only. Remember this. Nakul, very good question. This is the easiest way to find out whether you'll go east or west. वर्टेक्स पे पहुंच के रिटर्न नहीं जाओगे आप रिटर्न जाओगे तो वो वेस्ट हो जाएगा आगे जाओगे तो ईस्ट हो जाएगा इफ यू हैड स्टार्टेड ईस्ट बाउंड एंड इफ यू हैव स्टार्टेड वेस्ट बाउंड इवन इफ आई एम गोइंग नॉर्थ if I'm slightly towards the right I become northeast if I'm slightly towards the west I become northwest. So east and west 1 degree difference can also give you east and west. So 001 can become east once 001 and 359er can become west in that case. So if you're thinking sir मैं north जा रहा हूँ तो east है कि west है. So only special cases are going northbound and southbound, where your vertices, the direction from vertices doesn't become east or west, but it cuts at an angle of 180 or 000. Second special case on the right, I will write down. If GC vertices are 0 degree north and 0 degree south. So what if we are traveling at the equator as a great circle only? Okay. What if our latitude, if our travel is all across the equator only, we're flying from one point on equator to the next point on equator. So can anybody give me the answer? Nukul, send me the answer. If east, what will be the track angle at which I'll be cutting the equator? If west, what will be the track angle that I'll be cutting the equator? Formula will remain the same. Rule of thumb will remain the same. Hussain, send me answer. Nukul Hussain, quickly send me answer. Karishma, send me answer. Students who are ready and confident with the answer, raise your hand. नुकुल मेरे को नहीं समझ आ रहा अब इतना टाइम क्यों ले रहे हो?
So 90.
मुझे Zoom chat पे आंसर्स चाहिए. Hussain, why you taking so much time? Karishma, why you taking so much time? And only Suchita is the first person to give me answers. Others, what are you doing? You're not even raising your hands. Look at the latitude. Look at the formula we have. If east, 0, 0 plus 90 and 0, 0 minus 90. So 0, 0 can also be taken as 360. 0, 0 plus 90 is 0980. And 0, 0 minus 90 is 270. Here, the plus minus will not matter. And if I'm going west, 0, 0 plus 270 and 0, 0 minus 270. So I get 270 and I get 0980. How long did it take? It didn't even take 5 seconds or 10 seconds, going step by step. It's an open book. You have everything in front of you. You just have to see and apply. What are you worried about, students? Think about it. You have all the resources. You have to stick to the steps and you will get the answer by default. I hope you're learning, students. So, what are great circle vertices? Great circle vertices are the most northern and the most southern points on a great circle track. The direction of the great circle track on the vertices can either be east or west. We saw the example from DIID. Okay. If it is eastbound, we can find out the track angle at which the equator is cut. The track angle at which the equator is cut is based upon latitudes. If from the vertex you're going east, then the track angle at which the equator is cut by the great circle would be latitude plus 90, latitude minus 90. If you're going westbound, so initial track, if it is eastbound, your vertices will also be east. Initial track, if it is westbound, your vertices will also be westbound. Really, Nukul, very good question. I think this thing, if you can pick up, it will be, not many people will know this actually, that it's this easy to figure out. Generally, this is one thing that is not given in the text why students are thinking, sir, but how do I determine east or west? Like, the diagrams don't help. You know, the diagrams, they make it look like south and they make it look like north. Then where do we cut the equator when it comes to great circle? From the vertices. If we have the vertices, we know where do we cut the great circle, at which meridian, and we have a formula. It's always 90 degrees. Plus 90 minus 90 from the meridians. So where are you cutting at the equator is meridian. At what angle are you cutting the equator is latitude. How to find the next vertex? 180 degree apart. Latitude is the opposite direction. Why do we need vertices? They are the most northern points where either we fly east or west. Going eastbound, vertice will also lead me eastbound. Going westbound, vertice will also lead me westbound. A great circle track is a track followed by everything in aviation: the air routes, the radio waves, the airways, the radials. A great circle track can be found if we know the formulas and if we know the coordinates. We can find the great circle distance. A great circle distance is easy. One of you all gave me that property when I spoke about great circle distance. 1 degree will be 60 nautical miles. So now my flight planning is complete. All this is an aspect of flight planning. Half of your navigation is flight planning. Now, as a pilot, I know if I have to fly from Mumbai to, let's say, Chhattisgarh, this is my initial track, this is my northern vertex, this is my total great circle track, all the tracks that I'll follow. This is my duration, this is my flight level, this is my speed, this is the fuel that I'll carry based upon my fuel consumption and reserves and everything. I'll check for wind, account that wind correction angle for my heading. If there's anticipated wind, I'll have some wind correction angle. If not, then I'll calculate track error angle in case I get lost. That is in-flight navigation. Before track error angle, velocity triangle, CDMBT, great circles, departure, fuel calculations, they all are in your flight planning. So don't just think it's a theoretical subject which will be a question in the exam. No, it's practical. You have to think practically to be in a better state to give answers. If you observe a question for a good amount of time, focus on keywords and let your mind gather its resources, then trust me, you'll be able to give the correct answer. If you don't do that, if you see the question and you directly try to find the answer, your mind will need time to process the answer. If you don't give it time, if you directly try to come up with the answer, you will not get an answer. It will scare you. You will lose your confidence. You will be anxious and it will make you worry. अरे ये question का तो answer नहीं आता. But if you give it some time, your mind will suggest which looks like the correct answer. That is much better than staying blank. There might be some questions you might be blank, maybe 5, not more than that. Rest everything you will have studied in the exams, trust me. So your focus should be to score 80, 85 out of 90, 95. And how do we do that? By preventing mistakes for topics that we have studied. ऐसा ना हो GC के questions आ रहे हैं but उसका answer नहीं आ रहा है हमें. So GC has come, but we don't know the answer. What's the point of studying so much? So wait before you mark the correct answer. Be confident and enjoy the process. Always. You are almost there, students. Remember that. There are students who are done with papers and everything, and now they're just idle. There are students who are going through papers. There are students who are stuck in flight training. Completely. There are students everywhere. Every aspect of the state. Some are thinking, some are invested, some are gathering money, some are waiting since a long time. We all have our problems, but if we don't give up, we all will achieve our goals. I've not seen any person who had given up or not got their goals. So be relaxed, don't worry. And if there's anything that's troubling you, just drop me a message and we'll work onto it. That being said, I want your updates on what is going on, what are the topics that you need revision on. For next live schedule, I'll share the updates with you. So far, no other live is planned. You can go back with your tasks. I'll be planning some other sessions for freshers, I'll tell you. And students, if you want, seniors, if you want something more, just drop me a message.
Sir,
Yeah, Hussein?
sir, can you solve the Oxford question?
Not right now. Try to solve it, please. Compare your answers with the back questions. Hussein, I request, first, spend some time with what you have learned, then keep an open book look at the questions, solve it step by step. I am teaching from Oxford only as our first priority. So you should be able to solve those questions. Try it, send me your solutions and send me whether you got the right answer or not. Please cross-check your answer before you send it. Once you cross-check your answer, students, I'm just telling this to send, but this is for everyone. If you think something is wrong from the master key, don't come up with the doubt. First, try to find your mistake. Why is your answer not matching? Once you have tried finding the mistake, you will share your doubt with me. Sir, I tried. My answer is not matching. What am I missing? I tried to find it out, but I'm not sure. That way, you have done your job, and that way, your main doubt can be latched upon, and then we can resolve it. So please try to do that. Okay, Hussain, and send me those questions screenshot on WhatsApp before you solve. Okay, students, any more questions? Last key for navigation exams, questions will be tricky to understand. Questions, if you have to speak in Hindi, questions को घुमा फिरा के दिया है. It is knotted pretty bad. It's like that 3-knot ponytail that we have in our hair. A 3-knot ponytail is also very clean. This is clean but twisted. Look at keywords in the question. Try to untwist. Okay. Understand. Okay. I have these 4, 5 elements, 2, 3 elements. How much do I know about these elements? What are they asking? So these are the elements given. This is what they are asking. Look at the options. Okay. What do I know? How do I come to this answer? What will help me? Will departure formula help me? Will GC help me? Will convergency help me? Will velocity triangle help me? Will CDMVT help me? Will 1/60 help me? Will my theory help me? You will know what will help you because you have studied. Then analyze that and see whether you get the answer. If you directly read your question and directly try to solve, you might not have understood the question. How do you think you'll get the answer? I'm just sharing with experience. Now, one of our students, he gave the last regular attempt. He could not clear. It's okay. Why? Because he just wanted to do a crash course. We did a crash course for him because he had already taken coaching. I gave him a lot of lectures to study because I know the concepts are more important. The fundamentals are more important. Whether he has studied or not in the past class, I don't know. He scored what? 50, 55. I was very upset. I told him, see, did you do all the lectures that I'd given you? He said, sir, I didn't get the time. I'm like, see. He said, but sir, I'd done it in the last class. I said, there will be a difference. What if what you're missing is in those fundamentals? Then the 45 period day, because of which he could not apply on demand, the earlier one. And he had to fly to the US for his flight training and he wanted to finish his navigation. Now remember, understand, he has to clear and he has to go. If he doesn't clear, if he goes to US, then he'll come back and he'll be wasting some time. He'll have to study nav again. He's already spent one fee there. He's already also doing crash course. Now, what is his situation? Now, he has to study. There's no shortcut. He thought he can do it question bank, question bank, question bank. For how long? First, do your fundamentals, then do your question bank. Now, I cannot shout on good students, but he was still missing. But finally, we worked, and we resolved his doubts. And it was a do or die situation. This exam, which we had on 28th, I guess, was a do or die because I think he's flying now on 12th. He had already booked tickets. At times like this, I feel something. I feel like, okay, if he doesn't clear, I have failed doing my job. But I cannot be so attached because he did not put in the efforts. He has to study 200 hours properly. I'm just telling you with examples. So when I have to help a student like that, and then he says, sir, live sessions में time लग रहा है, मेरा WhatsApp पे chat doubts resolve कर दो, doubts पे doubts, हर एक चीज पे doubts. मानो बच्चा आपको इतने डाउट्स आ रहे हैं, मतलब आपने कोई चीज मिस किया है। आप वो चीज एक बार पढ़ लो, आपके डाउट्स अपने आप रिजॉल्व हो जाएंगे। somehow I told him already, देखो बात अच्छे से करनी एक दूसरे से, we cannot get hyper because he started complaining, पहले भी यही प्रॉब्लम हो रही थी, अभी भी यही प्रॉब्लम, he is not understanding that concepts में flaw है। He said पहले भी किसी ने डाउट सॉल्व नहीं किया। I told him don't worry, I'll solve all your doubts, you just focus on what I'm saying, and eventually the strategy worked. All his doubts that I got, if you realize, they were all topics that we have studied, it's just logical element that doesn't click looking at the question. And yesterday, the questions that I solved are a part of such questions. Why am I giving you a story here? I'm telling you fresh examples on basis of which we modify our training, or we give you more guidance, better guidance to help you prevent those mistakes what others are making. This is how we get good results. So if I'm emphasizing more and more on this concept that relax, study the question carefully, focus on all the resources, focus on all the steps, you will get the right answer. Now that GC track, radial track question was so obvious. Apparent wonder was so obvious. QNH was so obvious. But when we are confused, these things don't look obvious to us. We have studied, but we are not able to come up with the correct answer. Exam was done. He messaged me. Luckily, before his exams, all his doubts were resolved. There is a baggage on instructors if doubts are not resolved. Trust me, it's the worst thing an instructor could go through, no matter what the students believe. I want you to understand this, especially students who are going to give the exams. It's the easiest exam in the world because out of 3 options, one option is correct and it is directly given to you in front of your eyes. So 33% of the work the examiner has already done. You have to do just the 66% of work to cross out the 2 wrong answers or to find out the right answer. So if nothing works, you can do reverse calculations. You have CX3, you know the formulas, you have scientific calci. How difficult will it be to try to come up with the most appropriate answer when you have studied all of navigation theory? Let's think about it. The sunrise sums, they were so logical. We didn't need rhyming. We didn't need nothing. We just knew 15 degree per hour. We know the apparent motion of the sun and we know the motion of the earth. That's all that we need. They will twist the questions, and they will use new words which you have not seen before, but it will not change the concept. So your job is to connect the complicated language and translate it into the simple language that you have studied and then resolve. This is what maturity will make you realize. I'm just giving you a cheat code to use in your exams, or this is something you all will learn as you become professional pilots. You'll be like, hi, yaar, ye to necessary hai hamare liye. Hum khud se seekh gaye, experience se seekh gaye. This is what the industry will teach you. This is what the best pilots do. Okay, so don't emphasize less on important things and more on unimportant things. Spending time in the wrong place is waste of time. Okay, students, mostly in next class, I'll not be able to talk about these things. So remember, don't take the load. One topic at a time, master it. Okay. I will be doing more live sessions, quick sessions to cover quick topics that I think you might not have practiced or might not have got good practice. I'll announce the schedule. Please attend. We'll have 1 or 2 hour sessions only, quick. But you know, sometimes it takes time because we're covering all aspects of the topic, not just the question. I'll be helping you with some primary radar questions also, which I think should be good practice. That being said, exam students, if you have any time commitments that you cannot spend time with me for these 2-3 sessions, let me know in advance so that you don't miss those sessions. Okay? So everyone who's giving the exam, you do let me know your availability and comfort. Accordingly, I'll plan those sessions and help you get more marks in the exam. Don't worry, I'm there. If you have any doubt, just WhatsApp me. I'll get you the resolutions. And if I give you an instruction, follow that. इफ आई टेल यू ये डाउट के लिए आप इतना पढ़ लो फिर दोबारा पूछो तो उतना रीड कर लेना एंड देन बोलना से रीड कर लिया नहीं समझ आया मतलब चलो मैं समझाता हूँ आप रीड कर लोगे शायद आपको समझ आ जाएगा एंड योर रिटेंशन ऑफ दैट कॉन्सेप्ट विल बी मच मोर देन बिफोर समझ रहे हो आप लोग सब लोग I'm spending 10 extra minutes to explain this because I know Hussain is facing that challenge. Nukul can face that challenge. I'm sure everybody else will some or the other place have a challenge like this on some or the other question. This is the right approach. You believe in it and start working ahead. You will see, if you daily remind yourself about it, you will see its consolidated impact would be to help you get decent marks. So to end up the story, he messaged me, sir, paper was fine and proactive. Okay, I'm not checking because I know if paper was bad, he might be depressed. So he said, the paper was fine. I think I'll pass. I'm like, okay. I'm also very nervous about it, but I'm fine. I'm confident always. Even I'm nervous, I'm confident for students. Then he started sending questions. So iska answer batao, iska answer batao, iska answer batao. And post-exam questions, I generally don't discuss that quick. I want it to cool down and then sit in a study session and then do it. So I'm like, okay, I saw the doubts and I'm like, okay. He said, sir, yeah, yeah. Iska answer batao. Then I helped him with the answers. 2-3 क्वेश्चन उसके गलत निकले वो बोला -1 हो गया सर -2 हो गया -3 हो गया डोंट वरी and then he got his results and then he sent sir ये marks आया है and I'm cleared thank you and I was like very happy that finally you have done the right thing हो गया ना सारा स्ट्रगल सब खत्म हो गया अब वो आराम से carelessly he can fly finish his flight training come back and do his conversion I think he got 74 or 73 and he did message me sir these 3 questions would have made me cry he messaged me the last message sir these 3 marks would have made me cry and beg from 55 to 74 19 marks his journey from last session to this session was for those 19 marks he could have done it earlier also if he would have followed my instructions but I don't blame my students I know it's my job to instruct and your job to do as long as it takes so remember what I'm trying to say and please understand everything is possible everything is possible so any more requests drop me a message on WhatsApp and all the best do well keep your mind free get 8 hours of sleep before exams at least 2-3 दिन 8 घंटा सो लो कि एग्जाम टाइम पे 4-5 घंटा सोगे तो भी एग्जाम डे तक ज्यादा आप फॉल मेंटली स्ट्रेस नहीं रहोगे okay any more questions Hussain please solve and send me your answers cross check and discuss your doubts
Yes, I've sent you a WhatsApp.
topics बार बार mention करो students what topics I'm not sure so enjoy your lunch and thank you for your wishes on WhatsApp please be positive and let me know what do you need okay students I'll take your leave feel free to leave the session I'll leave last
Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
most welcome students
Sir,
Hussain please drop me a message we are very late
no, sir, just asking tomorrow, will there be a live session?
I just said nothing is planned, so no live lecture as of now. If yes, I will let you all know. But for that, I need availability. So I will be waiting for the availability from all exam students. Accordingly, I'll plan. I just said that. है ना? So आप availability भेजोगे पहले, and no update as of such. So
Okay,
you
sir.
have the day to yourself.